Well, hello, beautiful people. How are we doing today? We are back at it once again with chapter 4 of 3 Feet from Gold by Sharon Leckler. And it sounds like you guys are enjoying this book. I am enjoying doing this book. It's brought back so many memories. And yeah, yesterday was a little bit long, so I didn't really get a chance to go too deep into it. But the content and the information was so good. Just a little bit of a recap. Greg is now meeting Don Green. This guy, Buckland, is just introducing to all these amazing people. And this is the first guy, Don Green. And, it was all about being committed. Understanding now the story of, RU Darby and, what was happening with 3 Feet from Gold and why the book was even named 3 Feet from Gold. Because now you understand, if RU Darby wouldn't have quit back then, how he would have continued to hit the gold. But and again, even after having that happen to him, that was his awakening that he needed, and he went on to be successful because he knew never to quit. And that's really what this book really represents, and what I am definitely stressing more than anything. Right? Because it does not matter what your life looks like right now. It does not matter. Just keep pushing forward. Every day is a win. Every day is a success. Failure is feedback, so you don't have to worry about anything. It's just looking at what is working and continue to build. That's it. And continue to build. And if you just keep that mentality and you guys stick to this and we run this together and link arms, we are going to be successful. It has to happen. Okay? So understand that's how this works. And it really is just that simple. Let's just not overcomplicate it, and let's continue to listen, because this is going to get even deeper. We're just starting to get into the book, but I mean, we're already getting nuggets. So I hope you guys are in for it. Definitely have your notepad ready so that you guys can take notes, and let's get into chapter 4. Here we go. All right.
Neglecting to broaden their view has kept some people doing one thing all their lives. Napoleon Hill.
That's awesome.
Chapter 4, Through the Valleys.
There you go.
On the flight home, Greg's mind raced like a Ferrari speeding near the limit of its capacity on a wide-open road. Just as one topic redlined, his thoughts shifted to another one of Green's points. He realized that Buckland had sent him to meet Don Green for a very good reason. Nearly everyone he knew had given up at some point in their lives, stopping just 3 feet from achieving success. Of course, he included himself in this group of quitters, in fact, right at the top of the list.
Wow.
Sure, things weren't going smoothly for him, but did he really want to quit simply because things were getting complicated? He knew he didn't lack the talent he needed to succeed. He also had confidence that he could find the resources he would need. It was suddenly clear that he simply needed to find the passion, the drive, and most of all, the stickability to continue moving forward toward his own success. Part of the struggle he was now beginning to understand was that he had attempted to do everything himself. He was living by the old adage that if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. The problem with that belief was that he always ended up doing everything on his own. This philosophy was creating havoc in both his professional and personal life. The stress from trying to accomplish so much on his own left him with little time and energy for anything else. This included his girlfriend, Mia, whom he truly loved. He now understood, fully and completely, that he had not committed himself to the relationship. The way Don shared the 3 Feet from Gold story had really made an impression about the undeniable importance of seeking counsel from people with expertise outside your own. If Greg was going to succeed, he had to start allowing others to help him. A perfect example came to mind. He knew little about accounting and operations, yet he considered himself a genius at sales and marketing. Maybe that's a bit extreme, he thought. Lately, however, he had been spending way too much of his time on bookkeeping issues and had gotten way behind on sales calls. Business had therefore slowed down, and his finances had suffered. He had stopped working his strengths. It was obvious that he needed to enlist those who were experts in accounting and operations to assist him and to free him up so he could do what he did best. Plus, it was what he loved to do. He jotted onto his pad, "Work your strengths, hire your weaknesses."
Nice.
Just doing this one thing would allow him to grow his business quickly while he himself grew smarter and hopefully create more free time to do what he excelled at and enjoyed most. As soon as he deplaned, he hailed a taxicab and headed to the World Capitol building. Meeting Buckland, his newfound mentor, he realized how much his attitude had already changed as a result of meeting this man. "Mr. Buckland, wow, what a great trip!" Greg's enthusiasm carried in his voice. "I understand why you sent me to meet with Don. What a champion. I cannot believe I got to sit down with the CEO of the Napoleon Hill Foundation. I learned firsthand from him the power of not quitting 3 feet from gold. Thank you." Greg took a breath. "And I love the part about seeking guidance from an outside source. I got it. I finally realized that I won't become successful if I'm a one-man show." "You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed meeting Don," Buckland said. "Now, the big question is, what are you going to do with that information?" The protege said, "I knew you were going to ask me that. So here's the plan. On the way over here, I set up meetings with some of the best people I could get a hold of so I can ask for their opinions on my business and career." "Well, that's a shame because you won't get very far." "What? I thought that was why you sent me to meet with Mr. Green. I thought you'd be proud that I figured it out." "It's wonderful that you listened to him. Only I wish you would seek out counsel rather than opinions."
Ooh.
"What's the difference?" Greg asked, furrowing his brow. "It's the difference between succeeding and not. The problem is almost everyone listens to other people's opinions rather than seeking out good counsel." Buckland cleared his throat. "It's like this. Opinions are usually based on ignorance, or shall we say a lack of knowledge, whereas counsel is based on wisdom and experience." Greg digested the statement. Buckland continued. "Imagine going to friends or family members and sharing with them that you want to do something they have never been exposed to. Like, for instance, writing a book. They might say you are crazy, right?" Greg smiled as he imagined his friends' reactions. "Write a book? You can barely write your name. You'll never be an author." You may ask them why they think you couldn't do it, and they would give you plenty of reasons. More than likely, they would focus on the hurdles and time it would take, or the amount of money you would spend, and so on.
Right.
"You must have already met my family and friends," Greg said sarcastically. "They'd probably say, you can't write a book because you've never read a book."
Wow.
Even though he had finally read Think and Grow Rich from cover to cover. Yes, they would probably say that because they had never done it themselves. It's what we call pooled ignorance. Now compare that to speaking with someone like the founder of Executive Books, Charlie Tremendous Jones. That's the guy who said that quote about being the same today as you'll be in 5 years, except for the people you meet in the books you read? The one and only. Besides being an award-winning author, speaker, and true friend to many, he's also a great business executive who has sold over 50 million books through his company. That's a lot of books. It is, Buckland agreed. Now, imagine speaking with him about writing a book. More than likely, he would have a completely different take on your endeavor than your normal circle.
Right.
He may say, considering you are new in the field, there will be some challenges. Here's what you need to know. And then he'd share with you what other authors have gone through to become successful. And then he might talk about the triumphs and pitfalls of writing, publishing, and promoting your new project. In other words, he'd offer you good counsel. I get that, the younger man said. Charlie is an expert in the industry, just like the engineer who helped out the junk man. Precisely, beamed Buckland, pleased that his pupil was paying attention. I'll get on it right away. And once you do, Buckland interjected, please share what you learn with someone else, because in the end, the greatest success you'll know is helping others succeed and grow.
There you go.
Greg wrote these words in his notepad for future reference. Seek counsel, not opinions, and then pass it on.
I love it.
If you're up for it, I will send you to meet another one of my friends next week. Want to go to Vegas? Buckland offered. Sure, absolutely, Greg burst out. Now tell you what, before we arrange that, let me make a quick call and get Ron Glosser on the line. It took 3 rings before a cheerful voice answered over the speaker. Hey there, Bucky. I saw your name on the caller ID. I'm in a meeting, but I wanted to see if you needed anything. As a matter of fact, I do, Buckland replied. I have a young man here in my office who is learning a few of Napoleon Hill's great principles, mainly the one about not stopping 3 feet from gold. Yes, I know that one well, Glosser said. You are busy, so would you please give my friend here just one quick piece of wisdom that he can take along his journey? Perhaps a tool that will help him improve his judgment. Without skipping a beat, the words came through the receiver. Absolutely. It is very important never to make a major decision in your valley, Greg queried. What do you mean by that? Glosser said. Well, think about it. Everyone seems to make major decisions while in their low points of life. These can be times of job loss, illness, the end of a relationship, or a financial disaster. It's different for everyone, but the valleys create high levels of emotion, and no one can make a sound decision when it's based on fear, loss, or disappointment. Everything in life is cyclical. Just as a valley comes, so does the mountaintop. The secret is to wait for the cycle to proceed upward before making any major move. This way, it'll be based on progress rather than defeat, on potential rather than loss. Well, let's be honest. How many times have you made a good, positive decision when it was made from a negative perspective? Next time, when you are faced with a major decision, consider riding out the storm until you have that rise again, where you can start from a more stable foundation. Greg pulled out his notepad and wrote, Never make a major decision in a valley. Thanks, Ron. That's a great insight, Buckland said. I appreciate all you do, and we'll let you go now. Yes, thank you, Greg added. You two enjoy yourselves, and we'll catch up later. Glosser hung up. As soon as the line disconnected, Greg started in. You really have some terrific friends. He is so right. I cannot begin to tell you how many times I've made my decisions at my low points. Well, almost every time, I suppose. If you recall, I was about to do it the day we met. Who is Mr. Glosser, by the way? Ron Glosser used to be the CEO of Goodyear Bank before he ran the Milton Hershey Trust, worth billions of dollars. Besides that, he is one of the most considerate men I know. Another message Ron shares, which I enjoy, is the power of acting as if. What's that? The novice asked, reaching for his notepad. As he explains it, and one would have to agree, it's important to act as if you've already accomplished your goals. When faced with the challenges in life, it is important that you keep digging because the results are just about to happen. I have to tell you, Mr. Buckland, I've not quite figured out why you're sharing all this with me. But I do know this. Both you and Don Green said that there are things I need to do once I find my purpose, one of which is sharing what I learned with someone else. I will repay what you've done for me by helping someone else in the future. I guarantee it. Very good. Buckland smiled. And that's why I think you should meet with my friend Jack Mates in Las Vegas. He may be able to assist you further. Okay, I trust you, Greg said. This is exciting. Expect a package in a couple of days that will explain everything you need to know. Buckland stood. By the way, I notice you're using the notepad. Sure am. This is terrific. I even started writing down my goals. Well, that's great news. Most people don't understand what a goal is. Greg smiled and wrote in his notepad as Buckland spoke. A dream is just a dream until it is written down. Only then does it become a goal. A goal is a contract with yourself and should be based less on what you want to do and more on what you promise yourself you'll actually accomplish. I like that, Greg said. An author and self-made billionaire friend of mine, Bill Bartman, does something special with this. He had these little cards made and hands them out wherever he goes. He calls each one a pocket promise. On one side, it has, I promise. The other side is blank, where you write your truest, deepest commitments to yourself. The idea is to keep the card in your pocket at all times. Each time you reach for your wallet or car keys, there it is, acting as a constant reminder of the commitment you have made to yourself.
Hmm.
Heeding this counsel, Greg wrote, make yourself a pocket promise.
Love it.
Bill is a great example of never allowing adversity to stand in the way. At one time, he was the 25th wealthiest person in America. His corporation grew out of an idea at his kitchen table, which became one of the fastest growing businesses in the country. His entrepreneurial ideas were recognized by the Smithsonian Institution, and his leadership principles have been featured on national TV shows and magazines from coast to coast. Sounds like a tough life, Greg said under his breath. Now, hold on there, hotshot. Let me finish. The story doesn't end there. You see, Bill was falsely charged with undermining the very same organization he created, and he was indicted on 57 felony charges.
Hmm.
Holy smokes! He was devastated. The way Bill tells it, it took him 13 years to build an empire, and only 13 minutes to have it taken away.
Hmm.
He says he knew that everyone but his family had deserted him when Christmas came, and instead of thousands of holiday cards, he received only one. He was down to his final friend. What happened? Did he get convicted? You'd think so with all those charges, yet he was acquitted on every count. He got an apology from the government, but all his money went to legal bills. Where is he now? Asked Greg, with interest in his voice. That's the best part. He could have turned bitter and adopted a poor me attitude, but he didn't. He pulled himself up and redirected his attention from what he had lost to what he had left, namely, a family who loved and supported him. He started writing and became a gifted speaker. He now travels the world and shares his story so that others may learn from his experience. He even carries that one Christmas card with him wherever he goes as a personal reminder that even one simple deed can have a huge impact on another person's life. Buckland ended their meeting. Remember this, we are always flowing either toward or away from any goal we give ourselves. Every day, the direction we choose is up to us.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
A quitter never.
Wow. Well, oh my goodness, you guys, so good. And I know I say that a lot, but I hope you guys are feeling this as much as I am. I'm trying to like keep up and take notes and all this stuff at the same time. And I'm gonna have to definitely go back to this. There's a lot of more gems and nuggets, and we're just getting started. Each chapter is just going to be more and more fulfilled. I love the idea of the commitments and making those commitments and having that pocket promise. So definitely comment down below if you guys are going to do a pocket promise, right? And just have that in your pocket every single day. I actually have a couple of notepads or notes that I keep, and those are just little reminders. I don't even have to look at them. I just know that they're there, and I know that that is the promise that I've made. So, these are just great little things as we continue to stay with that stickability, right? And if you guys are here and you're still going along with everything, I know you guys have that stickability and you're just not going to quit. And and you're in for an amazing journey as we continue into this book tomorrow. So I'll be back here again tomorrow, so definitely come back, and you guys will see the next video. And I'm posting these every day in the morning. If there's a better time that works for you guys, let me know. I'm just posting them because I'm here on the West Coast, at 8 a.m. But if there's a better time that you guys would like to see these videos posted, definitely comment down below. If you haven't already, make sure that you like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of this great content. And until next time, you guys make it a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.